from the Great Western Forum. The Los Angeles Kings will try to break a 3-game losing streak. And the shoulder injury. John McIntyre, broken nose. He had to have it reset. Kiasti Carolina not in lineup tonight, nor is defenseman Brent Thompson. For the Winnipeg Jets, they've got a lot of key injuries. Bob Essence, their best goaltender, out with a knee. Former King Dean Kennedy's had knee surgery, out for a long time. Former King Brian Erickson, he's been out for a long time with that stomach injury. Mike Eagles, fractured thumb. And then Broughton, Cole, Marois, Evans, and Draper all with the team here in Los Angeles, but scratched from the lineup tonight. Now on the ice at center ice is Warren Wiebe, and he will be singing "Oh Canada" and "America the Beautiful." Warren Wiebe. Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Warren Wiebe with "Oh Canada" and "America the Beautiful." The goaltenders in the game tonight, Stefan Beauregard will get the start for the Winnipeg Jets. He's having a pretty good year. He's been in only 24 games, but he's 4th in the National Hockey League in goals against average, 2.76. Kelly Rudy has started 27 of the last 29. He's won 14 here at home this year. The referee tonight is Don Koharski, and the linesmen Shane Heyer and Bob Hodges. The Kings and the Winnipeg Jets. Wayne Gretzky going to start out. He's got Tony Granato on his left side and Yari Curry over on the right. Coffey and Charlie Huddy back defensively, and the faceoff won by the Winnipeg Jets. Here's Randy Carlyle. His pass ahead to Troy Murray came across the line, but an offside called. Murray won the draw, and then he sprinted right to the King blue line, and Randy Carlyle tried to give it to him, but the offside called against the Winnipeg Jets. John Paddock is in his first year as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Last year, he coached in the American Hockey League at Binghamton. He spent 7 years in the Philadelphia Flyers organization, played in the NHL with Washington, Philadelphia, and Quebec in a 5-year career. John Paddock.
Done a pretty good job, Bob. He had to really change the focus of the Winnipeg Jets. Throughout the 80s, the Jets, known as that fast skating, but they didn't hit many bodies out there. He's changed that emphasis to a lot of defense. Brought on Troy Murray, that man, big leader. He likes to play offense and defense at the same time.
Troy Murray facing off against Wayne Gretzky. Murray wins the draw. Randy Carlyle to Phil Housley, who leads them in scoring. He slaps it hard into the King zone. Puck is down the left side, and now behind the net, taken there by Charlie Huddy. Poked away from him. Huddy still battles with Troy Murray. Murray kicks it along the boards, and it's not pinned yet. It's still loose. Now they get the whistle, and we'll have another face-off. This one in the Kings zone. Tom Webster behind the King bench. He's looking for this team to come up with a better effort than they did in the last 3 games when the Kings got shut out at Hartford, then lost in Montreal, and then got beat in Boston. And really, on that road trip in 9 periods, the Kings played only 1 good period. That was the first period at Montreal when they had a 2-0 lead. Rick Wilson talking to Tom Webster. Rick on the headset, and Cap Rader, the other assistant coach, up here in the press box. The Kings here in Los Angeles against Winnipeg this year. They tied 3-3, and they beat the Jets 2-1. In Winnipeg, the Kings won 6-3 and 4-2. The Jets won in Winnipeg 6-2 for Winnipeg's only win over the Kings this year. Taken by the Kings. Here's Larry Robinson back in the Kings zone. He drops it off to Tim Waters. So Waters and Robinson, the 2 veteran defensemen, paired up here as the Kings get Robitaille up at center ice. Here's Robitaille on the right side. Robitaille shoots, save, and the rebound comes back in the right side and taken away by Carlisle. He tried to clear to the blue line and was held in, but now taken away by Eddie Olczyk. Olczyk down the left side, poked away by Waters and picked up by Sandstrom. This line has Sandstrom with Millen and Robitaille. Kings changing lines almost every game. And Jim, a lot of people are surprised at that, feeling that why fool around with a lineup when you'd won 8 in a row. But Tom Webster's feeling is that when you get in the playoffs, if somebody gets hurt, you've got to be able to play with substitution. It
was one of the few times during the season when he had a lot of people healthy. They've had a few injuries lately to Blake on defense, but try some things out.
Robitaille with a shot from the left wing and a save made by Beauregard. Puck comes around and toward the blue line. The Kings try to hold it in. They do. Pass in front to Millen, and just off his stick. It was a bouncing pass that went off his stick into the corner. No score first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Kings still have it. Sandstrom, Winnipeg zone. Moves it on the left side to Luc Robitaille. Here's Robitaille down along the left wing boards. He's pinned along the boards there. He is tied for 5th in NHL goals with 41. Pass up the middle. Kings hold it in again. Here's Corey Millen. Behind the net it goes to Robitaille. Robitaille around in front, and the net is dislodged. Get a whistle here as the net got dislodged. No score in the first period. 18-12 left to go in the period. We'll be back in a moment. So the Kings now with a win tonight, they could go 7 ahead of Edmonton. If Winnipeg wins tonight, they'd only be 3 behind the Edmonton Oilers in the battle for second place. So this remains a most important game here for both the Kings and the Winnipeg Jets. Puck comes up to center ice. Here's Jari Kurri back to get in the Kings zone. We have no score with just over 2 minutes gone here in the first period. Here's Tony Granato. 8 game-winning goals on the year for Granato. That's 3rd best in the NHL. Now Paul Coffey. Coffey sends it across the line, broken up and cleared back to center. Coffey going for it right in front of the Winnipeg bench. He gets checked hard there by Mike Lallard. Puck comes down across the line, left side. Mike Lallard with a hard check on the Kings. Paul Coffey as they bumped into one another right in front of the Winnipeg bench. No score first period. Kings clear it up over the glass out of play with 17:30 to go here in the first period. Let's take a look at that. I asked Paul Coffey before the game, how's your back been after these games? He said it's been fine.
He's looked well in Boston, trying to join the play many of the times. He's thrown down right there by Lawler, but he gets right back up.
That, if any of you have ever had a sore back, you know that that's not going to help him.
Well, no matter what Paul Coffey does during the game, contributes offensively with assists or goals, you can tell at the beginning of the game whether he's into it or not, whether his back is feeling well, because he's the best skater in the league. Some nights, though, he does not want to jump up and take that puck.
There's Mike Lallard. He's the one that collided with Paul Coffey. You know, they tell me Coffey wears skates 3 sizes too small, curls his toes up. Man, he must be glad when the game's over. It really is amazing how he can skate as well as he does with skates that small. Puck taken on the right side now and fired down into the King zone. Chased in the right corner, but picked up by Bob Kudelski. Keith Tkachuk, he's off the U.S. Olympic team, number 7, was chasing it in there. Now it comes up for Dave Taylor, but it comes off the boards all the way back in the Winnipeg zone. No icing here. 3 minutes gone by in the first period. No score in the game. The Kings have the only 2 shots so far. Kings with again. Taylor, his pass up the middle, and it hit the side of the net, then bounced away from Mike Donnelly. Now the Kings trying to hold it in again. Tkachuk with a check, and then a shot was wide by Kudelski, deflected wide. Over to get it is Housley. He clears it out to center ice and taken by Waters. Waters deflects it off the boards to Kudelski. Kudelski's pass knocked down. Donnelly had it for a moment, but Randy Carlisle took it away. Here's Phil Housley. Housley leading them in assists with 52 and points with 73. Puck driven down back behind the King net, cut off there. The Kings have come out here tonight, and looks like they're going to work a lot harder than they did on the 3 games in that road trip. From center ice, puck driven by Sean McCosh around the boards on the right side, Winnipeg zone. No score first period. Sean McCosh, the rookie from the Phoenix Roadrunners, over to try and get it. He can't. The Jets come back to center ice. Here's Frederick Olesen. Olesen, right side, across the King line. Olesen with it. His shot wide to the right side. Didn't get much on it. Puck taken by Jay Miller. Miller for the Kings. His pass out to the right point. Olesen can't hold it in. Comes out to center ice. Olesen second on the team in points, so they get a lot of points from their defensemen on this Winnipeg team. Pass ahead down into the Winnipeg zone, broken up there by Olesen. He clears it back to center. Kings changing on the fly. Robitaille jumps on. Sandstrom and Millen are already up front with him. Here's Sandstrom, right wing. Sandstrom moving in. Sandstrom with it, left side shot, score! Peter Ahola! Beautiful pass by Sandstrom to defenseman Peter Ahola. Coming down the left side, and the Kings lead 1-0.
Sandstrom turns it on when Sean Cronin falls down. Then it turns into a 3-on-2. Millen going to the net really sets up the opening for Peter Ahola. Watch Sandstrom. He has 2 options. One to Millen, but he uses Millen as the decoy. And Ahola, defenseman, jumping up into the play. Very difficult to pick up. He scores the first goal of tonight's game. Kings lead 1-0. That goal brought to you by Old Spice.
Ahola with his 6th of the year from Thomas Sandstrom and Luke Robitaille at 4:22. Kings ahead 1-0. Puck taken back behind the King net. Here's Paul Coffey up ahead to Robitaille, but he didn't get it. Comes all the way down to the Winnipeg zone. We're going to get an icing call here as Mike Lawler goes back to touch it for the Winnipeg Jets. So the Kings get the first goal of the game for the 33rd time this year.
Talked many times this season, it's not the first mistake that kills you. Sean Cronin and the Jets had fallen down. The Jets have a lot of men back, but they can't pick up the latest man, and that's Ahola. He goes up top for that shot. There's Robitaille picking up his 100th point. That's the 3rd time he's had 100 points in a season. A lot more assists this year from Luke Robitaille.
He came into the game 5th in NHL scoring with 99 points. Of course, Pittsburgh, they got Lemieux up there. Stevens had a couple of goals tonight for Pittsburgh, so we'll update that NHL scoring race for you when we get a chance. Puck comes out to the right point, and we get a whistle on an offside. Housley and Curry, and we'll have the second period highlights. That's what's coming up tonight. As the puck comes down the left wing corner, here's Eddie Olczyk. Olczyk with 25 goals leads the Winnipeg Jets. He missed 15 games with a dislocated elbow. Jets hold it in. Right point. Moving in is Troy Murray. Shoots, save, rebound, and knocked away. Lucien Deblois with a great chance, and Rudy with a big stop. Here's Murray shooting and a save in the glove of Kelly Rudy, and he hangs on. Lucien Deblois had a great chance, and he shot it wide to the left side.
Unusual. It seems like the Jets' checking line out there against Wayne Gretzky's line also includes a big scorer in Ed Olczyk. We got a look on the upper deck overhead cam. Murray holds on a couple of times. The shot is not the problem. The rebound is. Kelly Rudy does not give up on the play. He reaches out, makes the stop on Deblois. We get another look at it. Marty McSorley actually deflected it to the wide open Winnipeg Jet.
Deblois was just here not too long ago with Toronto. He was traded by Toronto to Winnipeg for Mark Osborne at the trading deadline on March 10th. But Kelly Rudy had his stick down, and Deblois shot the puck right into Kelly's stick. It's still 1-0 in favor of the Kings. Peter Ahola with his 6th goal of the year from Sandstrom and Robitaille at 4:22.
Bob, I mentioned that makeup of the checking line with Murray, with Deblois, and you have the big scorer, Olczyk. That's a big bonus for a team, because even though you're trying to check the opposition, every once in a while you still have a big chance to score.
14:37 to go here in the first period. Kings up 1-0. Troy Murray will take the faceoff in the King zone to the left of Kelly Rudy. And on the draw, here's Frederick Olesen. Olesen moves it over left side, shot from there, saved by Rudy. He was all the way out in the circle. Here's Deblois, the backhander, knocked down by Rudy. First shot was taken by Igor Ulanov. He is from the Soviet Union. Kings bring it to center ice. Hooked ahead by Corey Millen at center ice, but broken up by Olesen. Now Charlie Huddy with it. Huddy stopped by Olczyk at the blue line, and Millen takes over at center ice for the Kings. 1-0 Kings, first period. Pass ahead now. Here's Sandstrom across the line. Sandstrom over to Robitaille. He shoots. Save made by Beauregard. Millen in the corner. He gets checked there. Kachuk checks in. The pass in front of Robitaille. He gets it back to Millen. Millen was having his stick held by Keith Kachuk. Puck is behind the net to Robitaille. Winnipeg zone. Robitaille still with it. Chased by Ulanov. Robitaille throws it in front. Tipped away by the goaltender Beauregard. Here's Paul Coffey. Coffey overskated left side. And now the Jets clear it out to center ice. And it's chased down by Charlie Huddy. Huddy back in the King zone. His pass to center ice out of the reach of Millen, but right on target. Stop made by Beauregard. Beauregard will stick handle with it, then give it to Mike Lawler back behind the net. Here come the Winnipeg Jets with 13:30 left to go in the first period. Forsato couldn't get it on the right side. Here's Keith Kachuk. Kachuk from the U.S. Olympic team sends it across the line, taken away by Larry Robinson. Robinson up to center ice. He gives it to Granato. Now back across the line. Here's Curry. Curry's pass to Gretzky. Gretzky gives it to Robinson. Robinson sends it in deep back behind the Winnipeg net. 1-0 Kings lead here in the first period. Waters couldn't hold it in. It's cleared out to center ice by Davidov. He is another player out of the Soviet Union for the Winnipeg Jets. Now Lawler on the right side sends it back across the line into the King zone where Waters chases it down. Waters trying to get away from Lucien Deblois. Deblois all over Waters. Waters is a former Winnipeg Jet. Now Yari Curry in to get it. He gives it to Larry Robinson. Robinson's pass around the boards, but Lawler throws a check and the puck comes to the right point to Olczyk. He throws it wide off the boards, taken by Waters. Gretzky didn't clear it. Held in by Lawler with a shot. Knocked away by Kelly Rudy. 1-0 Kings with 12.5 minutes to go in the first period. Gretzky kicks it up ahead to the blue line. Now Curry's pass back deep in the King zone, taken by Waters. Waters slaps it around the boards and out to center ice. Here's Lawler for Winnipeg, and he slaps it right back in. Winnipeg changes on the fly. They get Housley and Carlisle out defensively. Curry flips it high in the air, but it's knocked down at center ice. Here come the Jets. Left wing side, Darren Shannon. Shannon, who played 3 years of junior hockey for Tom Webster, sends it up the middle. Pass in front, taken away and cleared to center ice. Mike Donnelly slapped it away and out to center ice. Taken by the Jets. Here's Phil Housley, their leading scorer. Housley right side, still with it. Heels back, King zone. Housley shoots, deflected wide. Rebound going to be taken by Marty McSorley. McSorley on the right side. To center ice to Mike Donnelly. Here's Donnelly to the Winnipeg line. Across the line, offside called against the Kings. Bob Kudelski offside on the right wing. We'll be back. Kings with a 1-0 lead here in the first period. They get Bob Kudelski. He's out at center, and a drive from center ice knocked away by Beauregard. This line with Donnelly and Taylor on the wings, and Kudelski at center. Winnipeg Jets move it over to Sean Cronin. Cronin's pass ahead to Darren Shannon, tipped away by McSorley and played down by Fredrik Olsson. Olsson out of Sweden. Good offensive defenseman, gets it ahead, and a shot knocked down and cleared to center. Thomas Steen had the shot, but it was deflected, and the Kings clear it back into the Winnipeg zone. Olsson back to get it with 11:15 to go in the first period. Donnelly takes it away. Donnelly in the slot. His pass rolls to the blue line to Paul Coffey. Coffey with a backhander, saved by Beauregard. Rebound, score! Mike Donnelly! With his second goal in 15 games as the puck came right to him in front of the crease, and the Kings lead 2-0.
One man who won't get credit for anything here is Bob Kudelski. He created the attack on the forecheck earlier in this. Watch Dave Taylor here on the rebound. Just pushes it over to his teammate Mike Donnelly. Great play by the Kings. It's not a very hard shot on goal, but that doesn't matter. Beauregard unable to control that rebound. What a smart play by Dave Taylor. He had a man all over his back, but he still had enough time to slide it 2 or 3 inches across to Donnelly. Kings lead 2-0.
Mike Donnelly with his 26th from Dave Taylor and Paul Coffey at 8:53. Puck comes back in the King zone, right wing side. Here's Mike Lawler. Lawler throws it behind the net, left side. Phil Sykes holds it in. He gets a hard check on the left side. Now Robinson's pass over to Waters. Waters left side. Waters can't clear it. Held in by the Jets. Now poked away by Robinson with a nice play. And here comes Larry Robinson up to center ice. Robinson sends it over now to McCosh with a shot and a glove stop. And we get a penalty interference on Phil Sykes of the Winnipeg Jets. Kings go on the power play.
On your left is Phil Sykes of the Winnipeg Jets. He received 2 minutes for interference behind the play. He took down Jim Thompson of the Kings. Number 20 of the Jets, Hartman, goes off with Jay Miller. They both received 2-minute penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct. So the Kings will have a one-man advantage, and they're 9th in the NHL on the power play, 19.5%. With the Winnipeg Jets killing penalties, they're 2nd overall in the NHL. Great job by the Jets at 83.9%.
The Kings this season in 5 previous games against Winnipeg, 3 power play goals in 25 chances and none in the last 12. So that shows you the good penalty killing that Winnipeg has. Randy Carlyle is out. He will be one of the penalty killers. Luc Robitaille leads the Kings in power play goals with a club record 24 this year. No other King has ever had 24 power play goals in a single season. Face off in the Winnipeg zone. Corey Millen wins the draw. Back to the blue line. Taken by Curry, but his pass broken up and cleared by Housley. Curry and Coffey are back at the blue line on the power play. The Kings have got Robitaille, Gretzky, and Millen up front. Gretzky fires it back behind the Winnipeg net. Stop there. Housley with it. He tried to clear it, and it is sent out to center ice all the way back in the Kings zone. Kings with 1:35 left to go on the power play. 10:05 to go in the first period with the Kings ahead 2-0. Here's Coffey, head to Gretzky, left side, he shoots, and a save by Beauregard. Gretzky firing from the top of the left circle for the Jets. Carlyle clears into center. Taken by the Kings again. Curry backpedaling to the King line. 1:13 to go on the power play. Here's Curry, flips it high in the air. It bounces down in the Winnipeg zone. Over to get it now is Housley to Carlyle, and he clears into center. Kelly Rudy is going to leave it for Corey Millen. Here's Millen. He's got 34 points in 38 games since he came to the Kings. Out of center ice, here's Coffey. Coffey across the line, left side. Can't get the shot. He got hooked just for a moment. Puck taken by Lallard. Lallard checked behind the net, and the puck along the left wing boards, and now cleared by Luciano Borsato. Curry back to get it with 37 seconds to go in the King power play. 2-0 Kings. Here's Granato to center to Gretzky. Gretzky, Winnipeg zone. Gretzky up the middle, now gets it back again. Gretzky in deep, gives it back to Sandstrom. Now Granato bats at it. Can't jam it in as Beauregard makes the save. Tony Granato had about 4 whacks at it while Beauregard was down on his knees.
It's been a tough night for Beauregard so far. 2 Kings go by him. Not doing too bad on the season as we take a look on the Northwest Airlines leaderboard. Beauregard in 4th position overall in goals against average, 2.76. On top, you expect these guys to be there. Roy from Montreal, Belfour, Kirk McLean, the Vancouver Canucks.
Take a look at Tony Granato with a chance. Gretzky gives it over to Granato. There's 1. Now he takes another whack, 2. Puck is loose. There's 3. Had 1 more before Teppo Newmanen and Mike Lallard came in to move Tony Granato out of the way.
Bob, you can see how effective on that last King rush when you have speed entering the blue line on the power play. Everyone had to back off. Then Sandstrom and Granato bury their heads and go right to the net.
24 seconds left to go in the King power play with the Kings up 2-0 here in the first period. Goals by Peter Ahola and Mike Donnelly. Here's Lallard for the Winnipeg Jets. He's stopped along the left wing boards. Kudelski gets a pass down to Granato. Now to Kudelski. Kudelski behind the net. Kudelski with it to Tony Granato to the blue line. Here's McSorley. McSorley, his shot knocked down and cleared to the blue line, but not out. McSorley holds it in. 6 seconds to go on the power play. McSorley's pass taken away and cleared by Lallard, and that's going to do it. The Jets are back at full strength. The Kings had 3 shots on that power play, but they're 0 for their last 13 with a man advantage against the Winnipeg Jets. Huddy drives it down in the Winnipeg zone with 8:25 to go in the first period. Kings up 2-0. Puck taken by the Kings. Robitaille left wing shoots, and a save by Beauregard. Robitaille got a lot on that, being checked by Randy Carlyle, but Beauregard made the save. 8:19 to go in the first period. A much better start for the Kings in this game here tonight against Winnipeg. 2-0 Kings lead it. Shots on goal 12-5. The Kings have had 7 straight shots. So, Jim, they seem to be driving to the net more tonight. There's a shot by Waters and a save. So that's the Kings' 13th shot of the period.
I think you hit it right on the nose, Bob. They are driving to the net. And with the Kings dangerous with their defenseman jumping into the play, that can create all kinds of chances. You know Granato and Sandstrom are going to go to the net. Well, they take people with them, and you get goals like the goal Peter Ahola scored.
Kings with the last 8 shots now in this period. There's Tony Granato, 5 goals in his last 7 and 10 in the last 12 for Granato. Face off in the Winnipeg zone. And on the draw, left side, Waters tries to hold it in. He fires it around the boards, and chasing it down is Troy Murray. Murray checked by Granato, but Murray clears it out to center ice, and Waters back to get it. Pass up to center ice, taken by Gretzky, right side. Gretzky shoots, and a save by Beauregard. Gretzky again shoots, and another save by Beauregard. And a penalty coming up. Penalty against the Winnipeg Jets. Looks like they're going to get Phil Housley. And the Kings, with a 2-0 lead, go back on the power play.
LA Kings looking to take a 3-0 lead as Phil Housley goes off for holding. A 12:06. Get a look on the upper deck overhead cam. The shot, not too dangerous. The rebound is, though. Gretzky gets a chance. Then Jari Kurri is wrapped up by Housley in front, making sure there wasn't another rebound chance. Kings on the power play. Jari Kurri back at the point.
Second power play of the night for the Los Angeles Kings. Kurri with 37 points in his last 42 games. He's got 495 goals in his career, but the Jets are going to clear it. In the game in Boston, after that game, Jim, Tom Webster was really upset. He said, you saw soft hockey all night long by the Kings. What do you mean by soft hockey?
Well, he means exactly what the Kings aren't doing tonight. Go to the net strong is not soft. You're willing to take a slash to make a play or a hit. Drive hard to the net. That's not soft hockey.
Gretzky with it, up the middle to the blue line to Kurri. Now on the right side, King still with it. Coffey to Kurri, shoots, tipped wide. Kings had Millen right in front of the net. Gretzky gives it over to Millen. Millen on the left side. Kings on the power play. Now over to Coffey. Coffey's pass up the middle, tried to get it to Robitaille. Broken up and cleared by Deblois. Kings with 1:19 left to go on this power play. Kelly Rudy gives it to Wayne Gretzky at center ice. Gretzky from the red line drives it across the line, but it was deflected by Carlisle and then cleared back down into the King zone by Mike Lawler. Here's Jari Kurri back to get it. Kurri being checked and having trouble right here, trying to look for some help from teammates. Phil Sykes in to do a good job. And Sykes hooks and pulls down Coffey. Well, he did do a good job until he hooked Coffey, and now the Kings are going to be 2 men up here on this power play. Phil Sykes will go to the penalty box for hooking, and the Kings are going to have a 2-man advantage for 50 seconds. Sykes made a good play at first to put some pressure on, but look at that hook. Classic right there. So the Kings, as Phil Sykes goes to the penalty box, have a 2-man advantage for 50 seconds.
Bob, make sure right now the Kings coaches telling their players, don't even come close to taking a penalty, because Don Koharski, the referee tonight, has called it like he saw it. But so far, the Jets taking many more penalties than the Kings. So the Kings have to be sure. Don't reach out and hook. Don't even come near a man's feet when you're going after the puck, because if he goes down, you have to expect the referee to even things up.
Great chance here for the Kings now. Tony Granato out, 2-man advantage. Jim, I don't think the Kings with a 2-man advantage have done very well this year at all. They I think, seem a little disorganized. Do you practice a lot with a 2-man advantage or not?
I think they do a lot more because a lot more referees are calling the situation. But the same old thing, shoot more for the Kings. They've got Kurri on one side and Sandstrom on the other.
Now here's Coffey, right side. His pass knocked down and clear. He tried to move it into the slot, and the Jets, Troy Murray was there to clear it away. Here's Wayne Gretzky. 35 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. Gretzky gives it to Sandstrom. Sandstrom, Winnipeg zone. Sandstrom dropped it back. Here's Kurri. Kurri sends it around the boards, but the Jets are going to get to it. Teppo Numminen with it. Numminen, he reverses it back. Kings maybe able to hold it in, and they do take control behind the net. Here is Sandstrom out to Kurri. Kurri at the left point. Kurri back to Sandstrom. Granato's in front of the net. Up the middle it goes to Gretzky. Gretzky to Coffey. Shoots. Saved by Beauregard. Rebound right side. Coffey pokes it ahead. Gretzky pinches along the boards. He tried to hold it in, but Numminen with it. He can't clear it. Kings hold it again. Now Numminen does clear it this time, and that's the end of the 2-man advantage. Paul Coffey back to get the King line, taken away by Housley. Housley looking for a short-hander. He shoots. Saved by Rudy. Big save by Kelly Rudy, and a rebound taken by Housley, and he shot it wide. Phil Housley had a great chance on the short-hander, and Rudy came up with a save at point blank. Kings still lead at 2-0, and they still have 45 seconds left to go in the power play. It's a 1-man advantage. Gretzky to Ahola. Ahola's got the first goal of the game for the Kings tonight. He gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky left side to Ahola. He shoots. Save Beauregard. Rebound. Cleared out to center ice. 33 seconds to go in the power play for the Kings. 5:14 to go in the first period. Kings up 2-0. Here's Peter Ahola out of Boston University. The rookie brings it to the Winnipeg line. Has Gretzky the right point, gives it to him. Here's Gretzky right on the line. Gretzky's pass to Millen, over in front to Robitaille, and he couldn't get a shot. What a pass by Millen. Here's McSorley. He gets it down to Gretzky. 12 seconds to go on the power play. Gretzky stopped by Igor Ulanov, and he will clear it ahead on the right side to Deblois. He drives it to the King line, and the power play is going to be over. The Kings had 2 shots on it. What a pass by Millen between the legs as he tipped it over to Robitaille, but Luke couldn't get a good shot. Now Robitaille gives it to Millen. Millen across the line, Winnipeg zone. He's checked by Davidov, and now it's taken by Borsato, and he moves it up on the left side to Cronin. Now to Borsato. Across the line, Borsato checked in. We're going to get a penalty here. Eye sticking is going to be the call. We got McSorley now pushing at Luciano Borsato, the rookie for the Winnipeg Jets. McSorley's going to go to the penalty box. 2-0 Kings lead with 4:24 to go in the first period.
Chance for the Jets to get back into the game. McSorley goes off for high sticking. No doubt about this one. Borsato jumps by McSorley. Marty reaches out with a hook, but it's too high. But earlier, when the Kings had the power play, the 2-man advantage, Housley jumps out of the box. No one sees him. He picks off the pass and goes in one-on-one on Kelly Hrudey. Watch Hrudey stay right with him. It's amazing, Bob. Kelly Hrudey making those breakaway saves looking so easy lately. He's going across, making the scorer take the first chance at it. And Hrudey's right there, gets his whole body in front of the shot.
Puck driven the length of the ice now by the Kings as they try to kill this power play. The Jets are 7th in the league, not bad, 20.3%. And the King penalty killing 6th in the NHL at 83.2. Puck comes down the right side and into the corner behind the net. Jets move it out in front. Off the stick of Kudelski. Now the left point. Tkachuk gives it to Housley. Housley, right side to Olesen. Olesen shoots and a bad save by Kelly Hrudey. Hard shot by Frederick Olesen, but Hrudey knocked it away with a pass. Here's Waters with it now. Behind the net to Robinson. Robinson's pass into the corner. Jets try to hold it in, and they do. Here's Tkachuk, the rookie, to the blue line to Housley. Housley shoots from there, deflected by Olczyk. He shoots, and it's saved by Hrudey. Shot it underneath Kelly Hrudey, who was flat on the ice. Twice in this period, the Jets have had chances and been unable to get the puck up in the air over Kelly Hrudey.
Reason for the Jets' success on the power play, they do everything simple. Look at Housley. He just throws that puck to the side. Olczyk tries to get the first deflection, doesn't make it. Kelly Hrudey doesn't give up on the play. He stretches to make sure he covers the shorthanded side. There's a look at the upper deck overhead cam, giving us some of those great shots. But the point man on the power play for the Winnipeg Jets, so simple. They get an opening, they're going to take a shot.
Face off to the right of Kelly Hrudey with 3:37 left to go in the first period. The Kings have won 7 straight at home. The club record is 10 back in October and November of 1990. Kings try to clear it ahead, and they do. It's tipped out to center ice by Granato. Now on the left side, here's Corey Millen. Millen trying to give it to Granato, and it's broken up by Housley with a good play. Here's Housley up to center ice on the power play. Jets have 58 seconds left with a man advantage, and a whistle offside called against Winnipeg. Now the face-off just outside the King blue line as the puck comes all the way down into the Winnipeg zone. Kings have 47 seconds left in the penalty to Marty McSorley. Winnipeg Jets, Phil Housley fires it ahead. It's deflected and up the center. Here's Corey Millen. Millen looking for a shorthander. All alone. Millen shoots. He scores! Shorthanded goal, number 10 of the year for the Kings. Corey Millen scores it.
Speed does it for Millen, allows him to get way out in front of everyone. And Beauregard trying to stay with Millen, but he doesn't have the speed. Corey Millen started off even with everyone here, but he just blew past everyone. So hard to do right here, Bob. Watch this. When he goes to his forehand, he's sliding away from the plate, but he still puts it up top. Very important on that goal. Beauregard couldn't keep up. The Kings lead 3-0.
Millen gets his 18th of the year, a shorthanded goal. Tony Granato with the assist. 17 minutes of time to the goal. Jets with a shot wide from the left side by Davidoff. Puck comes down the corner. Now behind the net, dug out by Larry Robinson. Here's Robinson. 3-0 in favor of the Kings. First period. Gretzky spinning at center ice to try and get away from Housley, but he can't do it. Jets with it. Moved up on the right side now to Davidoff. Yevgeny Davidoff from Moscow, but it's poked away, and the Kings are going to clear it up to center ice. Kings are back at full strength. The Jets had only 2 shots on the power play, and the Kings score the goal, and that man scored it. Corey Millen gets his 18th of the year, a shorthanded goal. 3-0 Kings. Well, they love it here at the Forum. Everybody's rocking with the Kings up 3-0 on goals by Ahola, Donnelly, and Millen. Face off in the King zone to the left of Kelly Rudy. Now on the right side, chased into the corner by Troy Murray of Winnipeg. Murray tried to move it back to the blue line. The Kings chip it out to center ice. Randy Carlyle will chase it down. Kings have got Corey Millen up front along with Robitaille and Sandstrom. Puck comes all the way back across the King blue line, and Charlie Huddy will chase it down. 1:55 left to go in the first period. Charlie Huddy with a puck right now. He'll be talking with Jim Fox right at the end of this period. Best period in a long time for the Kings. 3-0 lead. Here is Coffey. His pass to center ice. Knocked down by Deblois. Deblois to Sykes. Phil Sykes shoots from the left side. It's deflected up out of play by Kelly Rudy. Strip tickets on Thursday, and the general tickets go on sale. Individual game tickets on Friday. Kings only 3 points away from clinching a playoff spot, depending upon what Calgary does in the next few games. And Calgary has lost 4 in a row. They don't play tonight. Here's Donnelly into the Winnipeg zone. He's checked there. He is knocked down as the Winnipeg Jets try to clear it up to center ice. They do, but it bounces over to Marty McSorley. 1:12 to go in the first period. Kings ahead 3-0. Here's Dave Taylor. Taylor trying to fight his way around Carlyle, but Carlyle pins him along the boards. Puck comes over on the left side, and it is held in on the left side. Nice play there by Kudelski to hold it in. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Randy Carlyle with it for the Winnipeg Jets. His pass. Kudelski almost stole it. Now it comes to Donnelly at center ice. Donnelly checked by Carlyle, and the Winnipeg Jets back to get in their own zone. Here's Mike Lawler. Lawler's pass over to Mike Hartman. Hartman on the left side. Flips it down to the King zone. Puck carries back behind the net. Chasing it down there, Peter Ahola. 36 seconds to go in the first period. Kings will clear it up to center ice, but it's knocked down and sent right back into the King zone by Deblois. Picked up by Ahola. Fires it to center, taken away. Jets with it again, and they would have been offside, so Eddie Olczyk had to, Murray had to hold up on it. Now it comes on the left side. Weak shot from the left wing side, knocked away. That shot by Olczyk. Puck comes over now to Waters with 13 seconds to go in the first period. At center ice, Numanen breaks it up, sends it back into the King zone. Ahola back to get it. 5 seconds to go in the first period. Here is Gretzky with it. 1 second to go in the period, and that's going to do it. That's the end of the first period, and an outstanding period for the Los Angeles Kings. Tom Webster and the coaches have got them ready tonight.
Thomas Sandstrom with a lot of speed entering the zone. Kings with a 3-on-3, but Corey Millen takes 2 men with him. Wide open, jumping up from defense, Peter Ahola. Kings lead 1-0.
Sandstrom and Robitaille with the assist. Then Mike Donnelly on a nice pass by Dave Taylor.
More pressure from the Kings. Not a hard shot from Paul Coffey. Taylor just tips it right there, knows exactly where Mike Donnelly is. And Donnelly has the open side of the net. Kings lead 2-0.
Taylor and Coffey with the assist. And then a shorthanded goal by Corey Millen.
Corey Millen just outskates everyone on this play. Then holds on, a lot of patience. A little shoulder fake there, way up top. 3-0 Kings.
Wayne Gretzky will start out tonight, this period at center, as he did at the opening faceoff tonight. He's got Tony Granato over on his left wing and Yari Curry on the right side. Peter Ahola and Marty McSorley back defensively. Face-off won by Troy Murray of the Winnipeg Jets, and then he moves right ahead, and a long pass by Lawler is deflected away by Kelly Rudy. Now pass in front to Olczyk, broken up but held in by Lawler. He drives it wide. Here's Olczyk. His pass in the middle, tipped away. Kings still can't get to it. Jets with it. Numanen left side, tipped and a save made. Rebound. Pass in front, knocked away to the blue line. Numanen with it, shoots up high, and it's deflected behind the net. Boy, the Kings, with that puck bouncing around, were very fortunate that the Jets didn't tip one in. Here's Ahola. Along the boards, his pass knocked down by Newman. So the Jets off with a fast start and some good forechecking here at the start of the second period. Kings moving to center, taken away there, and fired right back behind the King net. Lucien Deblois fires it in now, taken away on the left wing side. Darren Shannon pinching in. He can't get it. Here's Randy Carlyle to Shannon. He tipped it, but it went off his stick. Played by the Kings. Up on the right side, here's Peter Ahola. Ahola to center ice. His pass to Gretzky. Gretzky didn't bring it across the line. Granato thought he was going to give it to him, so he went. Now Gretzky drives it in as the Kings are in a line change. Here's Robitaille on the right side. Robitaille to Sandstrom. He tipped it, hit the side of the net. Sandstrom behind the net. Carlyle takes it away. Carlyle's pass up on the right side and out to center ice. Larry Robinson over to get it for the Kings. And we have an injured player and a penalty coming up. Tim Waters is going to get the penalty, and the injured player is Pat Elena.
Could be a major penalty to Tim Waters. Looked like he was just standing up. I believe it is 5 minutes for high sticking against Tim Waters. The Jets have a chance to get back into this game. Tim Waters out of the game. There's Pat Elena of the Jets. He's going off to the dressing room. Looks a little woozy right there. He was hit by a high stick from Tim Waters of the Kings. Waters gets 5 minutes for high sticking. We'll get a chance to see it. Right there, Waters reaches out trying to get a stick on Elena. Hold him off. No doubt there was no intent to injure there. It doesn't matter, though. Waters gets the 5-minute major. The Jets on a 5-minute penalty.
That's a tough blow to Winnipeg. Ellenuk was second on the team in goals with 24, and he had 29 points in the last 26 games. And there's Waters. He's really upset, smashing his stick as he goes to the King dressing room. So the Kings are going to be without Tim Waters. It's not the time to ask him for an autograph right there. So the Jets now with a great chance to get back in the game. They've got a 5-minute major. It's Waters' second major for high sticking this season. Puck comes up to center ice and fired into the left wing corner now. The Kings zone. Eddie Olczyk back to get it. He tried to get to it, but it's broken up by Huddy. Charlie Huddy down on it and held it long enough to get the face-off. Detroit leads it 2-0. Or 1-0, excuse me. Sean Burr with the goal. Puck fired around the boards off on the right side of the King zone, and in the corner, Larry Robinson with it. His pass is taken right in front by Charlie Huddy, and he clears it back into the Winnipeg zone. 2 minutes gone here in the second period. Kings ahead 3-0 with the Jets on a 5-minute power play. Here's Eddie Olczyk. His shot deflected into the corner by Charlie Huddy. Huddy whacks at it there, gets it to Robitaille. He can't clear it. Olczyk at the right point. Over to Newman, shoots. Knocked down in front and deflected wide. Here's Housley. Housley on the right side. He sends it down into Steen. Back to Housley. Housley's got Olczyk cruising down the slot. Can't get it to him. Now Housley to Steen up the middle to Teppo Newman, and he shoots, deflected wide off the glass. Picked up by Thomas Steen. Steen drops it off the corner to Olczyk. Here's Olczyk back to Steen. To the blue line to Housley. Here's Newman again. Newman back to Housley at the right point. Housley shoots, deflected into the corner. Picked up now by Troy Murray. Murray for the Jets. Back to Housley. Housley passes down the right side to Steen. Steen back to the blue line to Housley. Now to Newman shoots and a save. Rebound. Olczyk had it caught up in his skates. Couldn't get it. Here's Troy Murray. Murray left side. 3:23 to go in the power play. Here's Housley. Housley on the right side. Gives it to Newman. Newman over now to Murray. Troy Murray. His pass in the middle. Shot by Steen and a save in the pads of Kelly Rudy. He had Olczyk right in front of him too. And he got his leg out to make the save. And Corey Millen will try to clear it. Can't do it. Held in by Housley. Housley on the right side. Power play for the Jets. To the blue line to Newman. Over to Troy Murray. Here's Murray the left side. Kings with a 3-0 lead. His pass taken away and cleared out to center ice by Charlie Huddy. 2:53 to go in the power play. Jets with it, moving across the line. Kings break it up, and it's cleared by Larry Robinson. Kings will change up on the fly. Ahola and McSorley come on with Donnelly and Granato up front. Winnipeg Jets, Olesen. He moves it up on the right side. Here's Borsato, knocked down at center ice. Kings pick it away, and it's cleared again by Ahola.
Kings have to worry about the shots from the point from the Winnipeg Jets. But what they're doing well at this point, if they lose sight of the puck, they're taking a man out in front, so that man cannot put in a rebound.
Olesen from the red line slaps it into the Kings zone. Kings up 3-0. Jets on the major power play. The high sticking call and automatic game misconduct against Tim Waters. Here on the right side, Winnipeg Jets with it, move it out to the blue line, and it's held in. Housley, though, had to go off his skate to center ice. Housley checked at center ice by Granato. Housley's pass off on the right side to Kachuk, the rookie. Kings take it away, but can't clear it. Housley, oh, they call it offside. And Housley's going to argue. Boy, I didn't think it came all the way across the line. Offside called against Winnipeg. Let's take a look. It's got to come all the way back out across the blue line. No way. That's onside. That's a bad call. Shane Heyer whistled that down. So Housley, he's upset over that and should be. 2:02 left to go here in this second period. There's Mr. Heyer. I call him Mr. He's about 6'7". Puck comes all the way back down behind the net. 1:53 left to go in this power play. A major power play for the Jets so they can score as many times as possible. That time they do go offside.
A lot of scoring in the first period here. A lot of scoring around the NHL. We take a look on the Northwest Airlines leaderboard. This is updated right now. The Pittsburgh Penguins won 6-5 against the Oilers, and look who's on top. Kevin Stevens of the Penguins, Mario Lemieux of the Penguins, Wayne Gretzky 1 point behind. Luc Robitaille chipping in with an assist tonight, picked up his 100th point on the season.
Stevens had 3 points tonight, a goal and 2 assists. Lemieux had 2 assists. Brett Hull was shut out with no points in the St. Louis game. And Gretzky with no points yet tonight. Luc Robitaille with 1 assist on the goal by Ahola. 15.5 minutes to go here in the second period. Kings up 3-0, but the Jets working on a major power play. They've got 1:40 left to go on it. Here's Eddie Olczyk. Olczyk along the boards. He's checked there in the Kings zone. Checked from behind by Curry. Now the puck comes back to the blue line to Troy Murray. Murray drives it in the corner, taken away by Coffey. Can he clear it? No. Held in at the right point by Housley. Now left corner to Olczyk. He gets checked there. Puck is dug out, but not cleared by Coffey. Newman shoots, and a save by Rudy. Rebound to Gretzky. Clears it to center ice. 1:15 to go, and the penalty to Tim Waters. The Kings have 1 shorthanded goal already tonight, that by Corey Millen. That made it 3-0 Kings, and that's where we stand right now with 1:05 to go in this power play for Winnipeg. The Jets have won only 2 of their last 10 games. 2 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties. Kings clear it to center. Here is Mike Donnelly. Donnelly's got a goal tonight. He drives it into the Winnipeg zone. Now we're down to 52 seconds left to go on the power play. Winnipeg Jets moving to center. Here's Phil Housley. Housley stopped at center ice. He overskated the puck. Donnelly took it away, and he clears it. Pat Ellenuk, who got the high stick from Waters, is getting stitches above his right eye. It's doubtful that he will return tonight, and he is second in goals for the Winnipeg Jets. Pat Ellenuk. Jets hold in the Kings zone. Now it's taken away at the blue line. Kings still shorthanded. Here's Luc Robitaille. Left side checked by Borsato from behind. Robitaille pinned along the boards, but he gets a pass in the middle taken away by Housley. Back up to Frederick Olesen. Olesen to Luciano Borsato on the right side. Borsato shot wide. Rebound behind the net. Kings take it away. McSorley slaps it left point. Held in by Housley. Housley on the left side. He gives it down along the boards to Davidoff, the Russian. His pass taken away and cleared. And the Kings are going to be back at full strength right now. Jay Miller was serving Waters' penalty. The Jets got 4 shots on the major power play in 5 minutes. Puck is back at center ice. Kings with a 2-on-1. Granato to Gretzky, and he didn't get the pass at center ice. Back to take it away. Winnipeg Jets in deep in their own zone now. Pass around the boards on the left side. Held in behind the net. Here's Gretzky with it. Gretzky still with it. He's got Granato in front. Couldn't get it to him. It's broken up by Eddie Olczyk, and he ices the puck. No, it's not going to be icing. They claim the Kings could have played it, and Kelly Rudy goes behind the net to play it. 13:10 to go here in the second period. Pass up ahead to center ice, out of the reach of Granato. Taken away by Igor Ulanov. Ulanov up the middle, shot by Olczyk. Olczyk wide to the right. Olczyk got the shot right in the slot. Didn't put much on it. Shot it wide. Now on the right side. Along the boards, Deblois kicks it out, and it comes off the boards out to center ice. Igor Ulanov back to get it for the Winnipeg Jets. Bounces it off the boards in the Kings zone with 12:44 to go here in the second period. Now Gretzky forces it out to center ice, taken away by Mike Hartman. Hartman's drive off the boards, and it's going to be played by Kelly Rudy. Rudy's pass, knocked down. Jets try to hold it in. Kings take it away. Here at center ice now. Here's Jari Kurri. 3-on-3. Kurri across the line. Kurri still willing to Granato, but it just went behind him, and Hartman tipped it away. Now, Luciano Borsato, the rookie, starting out for the Winnipeg Jets. Stopped at center ice nicely by Taylor. Taylor back to the Winnipeg line. Taylor checked by Phil Sykes. Taylor still with it. Leaves it for Donnelly. Donnelly left side. He's got Kudelski with him, but Phil Sykes into the corner to break it up, and he gave it away to Taylor. Here's Dave Taylor into Donnelly. Donnelly spinning behind the net. Checked by Teppo Numminen. Numminen out of Finland. Puck comes into the corner. Kudelski gives the left side. Ahola shoots. Knocked down in front. Puck comes out on the left wing side, and here's Hartman. Hartman for Winnipeg. Clears to the center ice. Taken away by the Kings and slapped right back in by Bob Kudelski. 11:45 to go in the second period. Kings up 3-0. Winnipeg Jets. Numminen sends it all the way down to the Kings zone, and Kelly Rudy breaks it up there. Give the Kings get a big lift when they're able to kill that 5-minute disadvantage. Here's Davidoff.
They did a great job of changing very quickly during that penalty kill, and they've continued that here now. They're getting all the lines on the ice, and they seem to be a little quicker than the Jets.
Mike Lawler chases it down back in the Winnipeg zone. His pass to center taken away by McSorley. Marty sends it down the right side, and Ian deep. Lawler back to get it. He sends it around the boards over to Thomas Steen. Steen's pass to center. Jets come to the red line, but back checking to take it away is Thomas Sandstrom. 3-0 Kings lead. 11 minutes left to go in the second period. Here's Corey Millen. He flips it down in deep into the Winnipeg zone. Ulanov back to get it. He's from Russia. Puck comes up to center ice. Igor Ulanov with it. Across the line, right side. Ulanov hangs on. Looks for someone to pass to. His fellow Soviet Union player, Davidoff, and it was up in midair, and he couldn't get it. Now Jay Miller across the line to Paul Coffey. A deep shot. Dan McCosh got knocked down, and the net dislodged, and a save by Beauregard. Oh, the rookie, Sean McCosh, got knocked down just as the puck came to him from Paul Coffey. 3-0 Kings.
Drive hard to the net, and usually something good happens. Sean McCosh right here, diving, trying to get a stick on the puck. He deflected it, just missed going between the pads of Beauregard. Look at that, McCosh was taken down by Ulanov. No penalty called on the play. Good pass from Paul Coffey. Once again, Bob, that's not soft hockey. It's hard work going to the net.
You saw a shot of Sean McCosh over on the bench. He's 22 years old, number 5 picked by Detroit in '89, traded to the Kings in August of 1990 for future considerations. Played at New Haven last year and then at Phoenix this year, and the Kings just recalled him a few games ago. Puck comes down the left side, in deep into the Kings zone with 10:23 to go in the second period. Kings are up 3-0. All the goals in the first period. Peter Ahola, Mike Donnelly, and Corey Millen. Here is Granato trying to give it to Gretzky. It comes across the line and back to get it. Troy Murray, and he put it right out in front of his own net. He tried to pass behind the net, I think, and it came right out in front of Beauregard. 10 minutes left to go in the second period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Here is Wayne Gretzky at center ahead to Granato. Granato and Kurri. Kurri right side to Granato, and he fanned on the pass. Kurri gave it right back to Granato, and Tony fanned on it. I don't know if he was expecting Kurri to give it back to him or not. Of course, you should always expect to get it back, I guess. Tony just tried to shoot off the pass and missed it. Still 3-0 Kings. Here's Thomas Steen across the line. Kings zone, and rolled off his stick into the corner. Steen taken there. Here's Davidoff. His shot knocked back to the blue line. Ulanov with it. Ulanov shoots, tipped wide. Evgeny Davidoff with it on the left side. Now Olczyk throws it up the middle. Comes right back to him. Now up the middle to Steen. Knocked away. Here come the Kings to center. Here's Robitaille with Miller. Jets getting back. Robitaille shoots, and it's up high and off the glass. Puck comes back and out to center ice. Steen goes for it. Taken away by Sandstrom. Now Eddie Olczyk with it. Olczyk, born in Chicago, drafted by the Blackhawks, but they traded him. Kings with it. Down the middle, offside. Coffey came right down the middle, but offside called against the Kings. 11 minutes into the second period. The Jets have outshot the Kings in this period 7-1. Of course, the Jets had the benefit of that 5-minute power play. Now Keith Tkachuk down the right side. He gets checked there. He is no relation to the former player Walt Tkachuk. They spell their names differently. Tkachuk, born in the United States, played for the U.S. Olympic team just last month over in France. 8:36 left to go in the second period. Mike Lawler with it for the Winnipeg Jets. Now to center ice, Bill Sykes. He couldn't hang on, but it's taken by Lawler. Now on the left side. Down in deep in the King zone, and getting pulled down there was Teppo Numminen. No penalty called. Puck taken by the Winnipeg Jets, King zone. Left side, Tkachuk, pass in front. Knocked down, Borsato now in front to Housley, and he sent it up over the net. Housley had a chance right in the slot. Here's Numminen, his shot. Knocked down. Kings kicking ahead, but not out. Oh, they had Sandstrom breaking the center ice, too. Left side, pass in front, tipped and a save. The tip by Borsato and the save by Rudy. Puck cleared back to center, taken by Ulanov. To Housley, he banned on his pass, and it's cleared back up to center ice by Sandstrom, but now bounces over to Troy Murray. He slaps it hard into the King zone. 3-0 Kings. 7:39 to go, second period. Puck cleared to center ice, and Troy Murray back to get it, but we've got a penalty for boarding coming up against the Winnipeg Jets. Kings are going to go on the power play.
Not a very happy camper in the penalty box. Lucien Deblois for boarding at 12:25. We'll get a look at the penalty call. There's Deblois coming in from behind, gets a piece of Mike Donnelly. And I don't see any penalty right there. Once again, Donnelly protecting the puck. He knew exactly where the checker was coming from. But Deblois gets called, and he had a few words for Don Kuharski. I think he had a right to have a few words. You can't take the body contact out of hockey. You gotta let him hit once in a while. He's called there for boarding.
Kings 0 for 3 on the power play tonight, so they're 0 for their last 15 against a very good penalty-killing team, the Winnipeg Jets. Kings have a 3-0 lead. Coffey brings it up to center ice, and now it's slapped across the line by Granato, but the Jets break it up and clear it back into the King zone. Paul Coffey back to get it. Curry, Granato, Gretzky, and Jay Miller out on the power play. Here is Coffey, fires it around the boards, left side, taken there and moved back around over to Troy Murray. He gives it to Numminen. Here's Numminen checked in the corner. Kings with a 3-0 lead. Granato with it over to Gretzky. Gretzky with no points yet tonight. Gretzky top of the left circle, waits, doesn't pass it, hangs on to it. He's got Curry and he gives it to him. Curry slides it to Coffey. Coffey right side, tried to feed it back across the ice over to Gretzky. It got tipped. Gretzky gets it to Curry. Curry in the slot. Curry to Coffey. His shot knocked down and then tipped wide. Gretzky with it to Granato. Granato's got Jay Miller out in front. Puck comes over to Gretzky. Gretzky left side. Kings with a 3-0 lead here in the second period. Gretzky still with it. Gretzky into Granato, broken up by Teppo Numminen, and Numminen has plenty of time to clear it, and he does. 40 seconds left to go in the penalty to Lucien Deblois of the Winnipeg Jets. 6:14 to go in the second period with the Kings up 3-0. Gary Curry flips it high in the air. Randy Carlyle chases down, slaps it around the boards, out to the right point. Coffey holds it in. Here's Coffey shooting, and it's just tipped wide. Sandstrom was right in front of the net. Puck comes over to Curry. Now on the left side, here's Sandstrom. He can't hang on. Ulanov takes it away, and he drives it all the way down to the King zone. 18 seconds left to go in the King power play. Here's Gary Curry. Gives it to Paul Coffey. Coffey up to center ice. Moves it left side to Robitaille. Luke chases it down. He's got Millen in front of the net. Millen shoots, and a save by Beauregard. Luke took a look, and I'm sure Corey hollered that he was there, and Luke put it on his stick, but Beauregard made the save.
One of the few chances for the Kings here in the second period. Luc Robitaille takes a peek. Once he gets to the puck, he's ready to make the pass. Right on the stick of Corey Millen. All Millen can do right there is try to deflect it. That's what he did. And Beauregard made the stop.
Jim, how much talk goes on between players? Would Corey Millen holler there, or would Luke just know that he's going?
I think you saw Luke take a look there, right, so he knew he was there. But Corey Millen is going to talk. He's going to let him know, because those chances get away if you don't communicate.
Now it's held in by Donnelly. His pass in front went off Dave Taylor. Taken by Kudelski. Kudelski's pass behind the net into the corner goes Donnelly. He throws a check there at Steen, but over is Carlyle to get it. He clears it to center for Winnipeg. 5:14 left to go in the second period. Kings with a 3-0 lead, and all of those goals came in the first period tonight. Ahola, Donnelly, and Corey Millen got a shorthander. Housley over now to Carlyle and up to Steen. The center ice. Olczyk leads it for Davidoff across the line. He shoots, and it's blocked. He shoots again, and a save by Kelly Rudy. Good attempt there by Yevgeny Davidoff.
Jets with a chance here. They're down by 3 goals. Davidoff tries to take a shot. You can see the cameraman go with him. It was a fake shot. It hits Kelly Hrudey finally. We'll get another look at it from behind. A little bit of a rookie mistake by Peter Ahola. He kind of looked down at the puck for a split second. Davidoff had a chance on the rebound.
Davidoff played the last 5 years in Moscow. He was a number 12 pick in 1989 by the Winnipeg Jets. Yevgeny Davidoff. Should have taken Russian in high school rather than Spanish, I think. Puck comes up to Corey Millen at center. Across the line, Millen left side, Winnipeg zone. Banned on his pass. Now the Kings trying to hold it in, but the loose puck is taken by Luciano Borsato. He's checked by Sandstrom. Borsato kicks it ahead with 4.5 minutes left to go here in the second period. Stolen at center ice by Sandstrom across the line. He gives it a Robitaille, but he couldn't get to it in time, and the Jets break it up. Here is Keith Tkachuk. Tkachuk, he is hit hard at center ice by Robinson. Here's a penalty coming up. Penalty coming up against the Kings. Elbowing against Larry Robinson. Now we get Sandstrom and Luciano Borsato upset with one another. Robinson is not going to agree with that call. It was a hard check, and the referee Don Koharski calls elbowing on Larry Robinson. 3-0 Kings lead. We'll be right back.
Upper deck overhead cam gives us this shot of the hit by Larry Robinson. We'll see Robinson coming across, and he just reaches out.
Well, his arm did come out, and I think that's what the referee saw.
Get another look right there. Robinson puts up his elbow more or less just to protect himself, but he does get called with the elbow. Don Koharski, the referee tonight, very protective. 2 very close calls, one earlier on DeBlois where he hit Mike Donnelly from behind, and right there Larry Robinson goes off for elbowing.
Well, the Jets have certainly had their chances to get back in this game. They had a 5-minute power play earlier when Tim Waters got a high sticking penalty and an automatic game misconduct. They got 4 shots on that. Tonight on the power play, they're 0 for 2 with only 5 shots, and now they've got the man advantage again. 3:58 to go in the second period. Kings with a 3-0 lead. Edmonton has already lost tonight, so the Kings can go 7 points ahead of the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers, after tonight, will still have 2 games in hand on the Kings. After tonight, the Kings, 7 games left overall, 3 at home and 4 away. Puck taken now by the Winnipeg Jets in the Kings zone. Thomas Steen, left side. Now Housley, right side Olesen. His shot deflected, and Marty McSorley with it. Fanned on it as he tried to clear it. Now Donnelly can't clear. Olesen holds it in. Now behind the net, here's Ahola. He drives it around, but it's held in by the Jets again. Steen to Olesen. He shoots, and a glove save by Kelly Hrudey. Eddie Olczyk was right there trying to either tip it or screen him, but Kelly Hrudey, after getting a break and a game off in Boston the other night, Jim, is right back on top of his game.
Olczyk will practice this play. Very good at picking the puck out of the air. He missed it on the last one. There's Olesen just setting up with that shot. Olczyk reaches out, doesn't get a piece of it. If he did get a piece of it, Hrudey's quick enough to stay with it. There, Olczyk reaches out. He may have got a piece of it. Right there, Kelly Hrudey like a catcher catching a foul tip. For the Kings there, Bob, you can see at least they let Kelly Hrudey see the puck. They were clearing the front of the net.
1:05 to go in the power play for the Winnipeg Jets. Kings with a 3-0 lead, and the Kings get to the loose puck, and it's cleared. Down into the Winnipeg zone by Coffey. Gretzky went in to get it, but couldn't get it, and here's Davidoff behind his own net. Sends it around to Frederick Olesen. He's got a good shot to the point. He gets it up ahead to center ice. Now Keith Tkachuk, born in Melrose, Massachusetts, in the Boston area, across the line. Back to the right point to Housley. Housley over to Olesen, and it's knocked away. Saved by Kelly Hrudey. Puck comes out to the center ice. Kings with it. Here's Granato. Looks behind him. 4-on-2 for the Kings. Granato to Sandstrom. Sandstrom left side and puts it behind the net toward Gretzky. Gretzky still with it. Kings killing the penalty. Gretzky checked by Olesen. Gretzky falls down on purpose in the right wing corner. Doesn't draw the whistle. And now he's going to get called. The whistle's going to blow, and they're going to move the face-off. With 2:27 to go in the second period. Gretzky over on the bench. The faceoff, he fell on it, but they said that they're going to move it outside the blue line. He didn't get knocked down on the puck. He just fell down. It looked like he fell down on it on purpose. Gretzky held without a point tonight. So right now, he is third in scoring in the NHL. Lemieux and Stevens tied for first with 110. Gretzky third with 109. Kings move it up to center ice. Here's McSorley, but he got checked as he went to pass. Jets with it. Power play is over. They got 2 shots. There's a shot from the left side by Shannon, and a save made by Kelly Rudy. And the puck comes up out of play. So the Jets fail on the power play again. They get only 2 shots. Kings still lead it 3-0. They weren't able to do it at all on that 3-game road trip. Hartford got 4 on them in the shutout, and then both Montreal and Boston got 5. Kelly Rudy, 7 wins and 2 losses in his last 9 starts. 14 wins here at home this year and 9 on the road. Going to check somebody's stick here, Jim.
Don Koharski, the referee's over at the penalty box. Looks like Luc Robitaille's stick. They're going to check it and measure the curve on it. And I know Robitaille's stick looks like it's illegal. He has a whip on that curve that's unbelievably looking, but it's kind of an odd-shaped curve, so sometimes it does not measure to an illegal length.
It can only be a half-inch curve. Now, if it is illegal, the Kings get a penalty. If it is not illegal, Winnipeg gets the penalty for delaying the game and requesting the measurement. They have a device over there in the penalty timekeepers area that they use to measure the curvature of the stick. That's what they're doing right now with 2:08 to go in the second period. The Jets trying to get something going here. They're trailing 3-0. And it is legal, so Winnipeg gets the penalty.
Bob, I don't blame the Winnipeg Jets, though. You look at Luc Robitaille's sticks and you take a look, you got to say, that's illegal. There's no way a guy can play with a stick. Well, he's only scored an average of 48 goals with it, so he's a happy man right now. And the Winnipeg Jets will have to kill off the power play of the LA Kings. They went all or nothing on that play, Bob. They realized they're down by 3 goals. They have a chance to get back into the game, but now the Kings have a chance to take a 4-goal lead.
It's a 2-minute bench minor for delay of the game to the Winnipeg Jets because Robitaille's stick was not illegal. Tom Webster looking for win number 113 as the King head coach.
Bob, you won't see that too often. A team checking a stick in the second period. Usually they wait till near the end of the game. And a lot of players will keep sticks that are legal, and they'll change to those in the third period, while the first 2 periods, they try to get away with it with a stick that is illegal.
Eddie Olczyk will serve the penalty. I remember a game in Montreal years ago. Bob Pulford was the coach, Rogie Vachon the goaltender. Montreal challenged Rogie's stick, and they found it to be illegal. So they told the stick boy, go back in the dressing room and get another one, and Bob Pulford, the coach, followed him in and said, sit down, lock the door, I'm going to have a cigarette. He wouldn't let him come out with a new stick. Everybody was skating around on the ice. Pulley just sat in there, had a cigarette, and told them all to relax. The Canadians, with that man advantage, then had a 2-man advantage with that penalty, didn't score, and the Kings won the game. Here's Millen. That was back in 1974-75 when the Kings lost only 17 games all year. Now the Kings on the power play, but an offside called here. 1:53 to go in the second period. Kings up 3-0. The Kings with a 3-0 lead and a chance to increase that here with 1:53 to go in the second period. You can see the shots there. The Jets in this period have held the Kings to only 2 shots. Outshot them 13-2, but as I mentioned, the Jets had a 5-minute power play on the penalty to Tim Waters, and then a 2-minute power play after that. And the Kings with a 3-0 lead are going to play it somewhat safe here as the puck comes around to Troy Murray, and he clears it all the way back in the Kings zone. Kings back to get it. Pass up to center ice. Here's Robitaille, but his pass broken up, and it hops away from Corey Millen. Cleared by Deblois. Jets back to get it. Shot by Lawler from the left side. Knocked away by Kelly Rudy. Up to center ice now. Here's Paul Coffey. Flips it high in the air into the right corner. Winnipeg zone. Robitaille tried to get to it. He did. Tipped it behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky in front of Robitaille. Can't get the shot. Now he does. and it's wide to the right side. Here's Corey Millen. Millen over to Gretzky. Gretzky left side. Gretzky back to Millen. Down shot by Robitaille and a save by Beauregard. Luc Robitaille with 24 power play goals had a great chance there, but Stefan Beauregard made the stop. Beauregard in his second year in the NHL.
Kings dangerous down low. There's the first chance by Robitaille. Talk about a guy who knows where the puck's going to be. Robitaille setting up in front. Millen bounces to him. Look at Robitaille. He reaches back. Great save by Beauregard. Robitaille gets a lot on his shots. It doesn't matter whether it's forehand or backhand. And this time Robitaille picks up the bouncing puck. Beauregard is quicker.
Face on to the right of Beauregard. If that comes to the forehand, Luke's probably got a goal. He had a wide open side of the net. 49 seconds to go here in this second period, with the Kings ahead of Winnipeg 3-0. Tony Granato will take the face-off against Troy Murray. And off the draw, puck comes to Teppo Newman, and he can't clear it. Kings with it. Ahola, left point. His pass back on the right side, taken by McSorley. Tried to give it behind the net. Granato let it go over to Gretzky. 37 seconds to go in the period. Here's Gretzky up the middle. His pass taken away. Gretzky's pass intercepted by Troy Murray. Here's Murray to center. His pass off on the right side, out of the reach of Newman. Newman from a sharp angle. Behind the net, checked there. Kings with it with 20 seconds to go in the second period. Kings still on the power play for 8 seconds. Here's Granato to Gretzky. Gretzky takes a shot. Now gives it to McSorley. He shoots wide to the left side. Power play is over. Jets are back at full strength. Puck comes up to center ice with 4 seconds to go in the period. Here's Ahola trying to dig it out. Troy Murray fell down on it, and that's the end of the second period. And Phil Sykes came over and just leveled one of the Kings. It was Sandstrom. Right at the buzzer, Sykes came barreling in and just leveled Sandstrom, and then Sykes got taken out of the play. And I can't see which King is down there on top of Sykes.
Well, I know Thomas Sandstrom rents Phil Sykes' house during the hockey season. Perhaps Thomas behind on a couple of rent payments right here, because Phil Sykes just levels him. There's Sandstrom, number 7, and Sykes comes in. The whistle is going to blow. The period is over just before that point. Then Sykes gets his own from Marty McSorley of the Kings. Probably have penalties ending up washing out. Sykes wants to get his team riled up. Kings won't let it happen. The Kings lead 3-0 after 1 period. Davidoff has a shot right here. He gets his rebound back, and Kelly Rudy just following up the play. Peter Ahola takes Davidoff out of the play. Rudy with 23 saves after 2 periods.
At the other end, Stefan Beauregard in goal tonight.
Kings working on the power play. Robitaille with 1 chance. They'll get another chance right here. A couple of deflections. Backhand, and Beauregard very quick. Moving from right to left. Sticks out the pad. Makes the stop. He's at 18 saves tonight.
The Kings lead at 3-0. The shots now favor Winnipeg 23-21. They outshot the Kings in the second period 13-3. Scoring chances still in the Kings' favor 7-3. Power play tonight. Neither team has been able to score on the power play. Kings have 23 penalty minutes to only 14 for the Winnipeg Jets. Right at the end of that last period of the 20-minute mark, you saw Phil Sykes take a run at Thomas Sandstrom. Sykes of Winnipeg got 2 minutes for roughing. Marty McSorley then came in and took a whack at Sykes, and McSorley got 2 minutes for charging. So those cancel one another out. Those players in the penalty box, and the teams will be at full strength when this period starts. That's Phil Sykes. 7 years he played in the Los Angeles Kings organization. Signed as a free agent back in 1982. Stefan Beauregard, he's playing pretty well. Bob Essensa is the top goaltender, the #1 goaltender for the Winnipeg Jets. He's out with a knee strain. There's Marty McSorley over in the penalty box. You saw Phil Sykes in there. Bob Kudelski will take the face-off to start the third period. Troy Murray for the Winnipeg Jets. And he wins the draw, and here's Phil Housley. Both teams at full strength. Third period underway. Kings ahead 3-0. Here's Larry Robinson up the middle of Kudelski. Kudelski's pass off on the right side. Tipped to the Winnipeg line and taken by Teppo Newman. Newman to DeBlois. His shot deflected into the corner by Peter Ahola. Now Robinson with it. Moves it around on the left side. Kings try to clear it to center ice, and they do, but it bounces out of the reach of Taylor. Here's Teppo Numminen out of Finland back to get it. He gets it over to Bill Housley. Housley came right out of high school in St. Paul, Minnesota, into the NHL. Housley only 27 years old. He's in his 10th year in the league. Here's Mike Donnelly. Donnelly pulled down, and a penalty to Darren Shannon of Winnipeg. So the Jets take an ill-timed penalty early in the third period. They're down 3-0, and the Kings are back on the power play.
No power play goal scored tonight by either team, but Darren Shannon and the Jets goes off for hooking. We'll get a chance to see it here. Mike Donnelly with a puck. Shannon trying to catch up. Little bit of a dive by Donnelly, but Shannon goes off for hooking. The Kings back on the power play.
There's Mike Donnelly. He had a goal earlier tonight. Mike Donnelly got the second goal of the game, and for him, his second in 15 games. So the Kings try to get the first power play goal of the night. 6 shots and 5 attempts for the Kings. Corey Millen will take the faceoff. Millen's got a shorthanded goal tonight. We have just started the third period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Edmonton has already lost tonight, so the Kings trying to increase their lead in second place in the Smythe division. King win tonight. Puts them 7 ahead. Now Millen in front, shoots, and a save by Beauregard. Gretzky gave Millen the pass as Corey headed right for the net. But Beauregard with a stop. Curry holds it in, gets it over to Luke Robitaille. Robitaille on the right side. He feeds it to Corey Millen. Here's Millen into Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky Winnipeg zone. He's got Curry. Now passes to Millen. Millen right side. He's got Coffey, and he gives it to him. Coffey shot deflected. Hit somebody and came off the right side. Millen gives it to Gretzky. Back to Millen. Millen on the right side to Gretzky. Robitaille got knocked down to his knees just as the puck came to him. He gives it back to Gretzky. Gretzky to Curry, and he couldn't get it. Actually, Millen and Curry had a whack at it. Jets bring it to center ice. 2-on-2. Here's Deblois. Shoots, and he hit the goal post. Lucien Deblois hit the post with what would have been a short-handed goal. There's Paul Coffey, left side, and he sends it in deep in the Winnipeg zone. So Deblois hits the goal post, and the Kings still lead 3-0. Here's Housley with it. He shoots, and a save by Kelly Rudy in his pads, and the Kings don't get the loose puck. Here's Steen. He shoots, knocked down as the Kings got Paul Coffey in front of it. Coffey clears it off on the right side to Gretzky, now to Robitaille, now to Huddy. Here's Charlie Huddy with 35 seconds to go on the power play to Robitaille. Robitaille, left wing. Sends it around the boards over to Gretzky. Gretzky on the right side. He tips it over to Huddy at the blue line, and he couldn't hold it in. Neither could Robinson. Huddy back to get it. 20 seconds left to go in the King power play. Here's Coffey, his pass knocked down, Sandstrom, his pass knocked down, back to Huddy. Huddy and Robinson back at the point with Gretzky, Granato, and Sandstrom up front. Here's Robinson, fakes a shot from the blue line, sends it deep in the Winnipeg zone, wrapped around the boards. Gretzky intercepts on the right side. Power play is over. Here's a pass to Larry Robinson. Robinson, he gets a shot, hit the side of the net. Sandstrom drives for the rebound, gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky's pass hit escape, taken by Darren Shannon. Shannon just came out of the penalty box. He gives it up at center ice now. Here's Deblois. Deblois crossed the line. Shannon stayed onside. Deblois sends it in the right corner to Shannon. Darren Shannon with a pass up the middle. Tipped up ahead to Kudelski. Kings come back to center. 3-on-2. Kudelski to Granato. Granato tried to feed it through to Kudelski. Nice play by Housley to break it up. Here come the Jets 3-on-2. Eddie Olczyk, right side. Olczyk to Housley, and he couldn't get the shot. Housley chased along the boards on the right side by Peter Ahola. Now the pass comes off the stick of Troy Murray out to center ice. Igor Ulanov back together for the Jets. Both teams at full strength, taken away by the Kings. Mike Donnelly. Donnelly drives it in. 16:27 to go in the third period. Kings with a 3-0 lead. Trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Ulanov, his pass, left side. Olczyk chases it in, but he's broken up by Robinson. Now Donnelly went for it. He didn't get it. Robinson has it for the Kings. Robinson tried to give it to Kudelski. Didn't play it off the boards. Kings are going to be called for icing here as the Winnipeg Jets. Teppo Numminen goes back to touch it. 16:07 to go in the third period. Icing called against the Kings. Kings lead by 3. 3-0 in favor of the Kings, and some youngsters here tonight got their souvenirs, and they're seeing a pretty good game, especially a good first period by the Kings. Kings will be home here on Thursday night. Pat LaFontaine and the Buffalo Sabres, and you'll see it on Prime Ticket at 7:30. Don't forget Saturday's game here is a 1 o'clock game Saturday afternoon against the Calgary Flames. Puck is taken by the Kings and cleared to center ice now on the left wing side. Here's Corey Millen. Millen stops up with all the boards, now takes a shot. Rockets off the boards out to the right point. McSorley with it. He shoots. Save made by Beauregard. Puck comes up the middle. Picked up and then overskated for a moment by Keith Tkachuk. Then his pass broken up. Now taken it to center ice by Mike Lawler. Lawler for the Winnipeg Jets sends it in and Karam right toward Kelly Rudy. And we've got an elbowing penalty called against the Kings. I think it's against the Kings. Jim Thompson was over to argue about it. We've got 15:37 to go in the third period, and Jim Thompson is headed to the penalty box. We'll be right back.
That doesn't put a smile on Kings coach Tom Webster's face. You don't want to get the other team any life at all. They're down by 3 goals. Looked like it was a penalty away from the play on Jim Thompson.
So the Jets on the power play. Here's Frederick Olofsson to the right point. His pass into the corner. Troy Murray chases it down there to the blue line to Housley. His pass taken away. Huddy clears it to center. Here's a break for Donnelly. Looking for a short-hander. He's pulled down from behind and a penalty called. And a delayed call and a backhander by Kudelski. Saved by the goaltender. But the Kings have already got one short-handed goal, and it was similar to that play, Corey Millen, but Millen didn't get taken down. Donnelly got pulled down, and a penalty to Frederick Olofsson of the Winnipeg Jets.
Kings with speedsters, dangerous anytime. There's Donnelly trying to catch up with a puck. Olofsson does hook him down. Looks like there, Bob, to me, a chance for a penalty shot.
I agree with you.
The reason I say that, Bob, is you can see Olofsson. He really doesn't want to even do anything but just reach out and hook Mike Donnelly. He didn't catch up to him. Beauregard comes out and takes out Mike Donnelly.
He got whacked pretty good in the head by Donnelly, too, and he was bent over. I agree with you. Why not call that? Are you going to tell me that he was not behind the defense? He was clearly behind Olofsson. So you take him down, he doesn't get the shot. I've wondered why they're so reluctant to call that that penalty shot. It's one of the most exciting plays in hockey, if not the most exciting. There was one called earlier tonight in the Oiler game with Pittsburgh. Mario Lemieux took the penalty shot and got stopped by Bill Ranford. Face off to the right of the Winnipeg goaltender with both teams now shy a man. That was the first penalty shot that Lemieux has not been able to score on in his career. He was perfect, 6 for 6 coming into that one. Pittsburgh won it anyway over Edmonton tonight. Now in the corner, hard check from behind, and the puck taken by Sandstrom. Davidoff got knocked down, but now he's up and he feeds it up to Newman and shoots, and a glove save by Rudy. He reached up and stopped it and then caught it in midair. So the face-off will be to the right of Kelly Rudy.
Davidoff gets taken out right here by Charlie Huddy. He takes one look. Charlie Huddy playing the man all the way. Good play by Huddy. Then the Jets do get a shot. But if anything, it's a long shot from the middle of the ice. Kelly Rudy makes a glove save, has to juggle it. Once again, the Kings defense and forwards in this situation doing a great job clearing the front of the net. No one's in the way of Kelly Rudy there. Rudy sees the puck all the way and juggles for the stop.
Face off to the right of Rudy with Thomas Steen out to take the draw against Tony Granato. Both teams are shy one man. In a minute 14, the Kings get Jim Thompson out of the penalty box, but it's going to be a real short power play once he comes out. Here's Granato on the draw, but the Jets have it. Newman in left point. He shoots and a save by Rudy. Rebound up the middle. Steen with a shot, but tipped wide. Taken by the Kings. Here's Gretzky. Clears it out to center ice after he got it from Charlie Huddy. Phil Housley back to get it. Housley spinning away from Granato. Now Housley to center ice. Steps around Gretzky. Housley still with it. Moves it over the left side to Steen. Steen put it down in the corner. Now here's Teppo Numminen. Numminen left side. Numminen pass over to Housley, but he didn't get the pass. Kings with it. Back they come to center ice. 3-on-2. Here's Gretzky with Granato. Gretzky shoots and a glove save by Beauregard. He had Granato on the right and he had the trailer, but Gretzky took the shot. And the save made by Beauregard. Paul Coffey was the trailer on the play, but Gretzky fired from the left side.
Actually, Paul Coffey, kind of unselfish. He held back, so it was a 2-on-1. He grabbed a hold of one of the Jets. You're more dangerous on a 2-on-1 than on a 3-on-2. But Beauregard took the angle shot from Gretzky. He made the glove save look kind of easy.
Wayne Gretzky, you can see his point totals right there. 30 points in the last 14 games coming into tonight's game. He needs only 5 goals for 750 in his NHL career. He's trying to catch Gordie Howe in goals. Howe with 801 in his career. Up to center ice. Here is Borsato's pass on the right side and driving in front of Kelly Rudy, and he knocks it down. On the right side, driving in there was Igor Ulanov, and he got stopped. John Paddock looking on over there, the coach of the Winnipeg Jets. At staff this summer, Jim Fox will be there, Brian Engblom, Charlie Simmer, the ex-King. The blue line, Lawler holds it in. Also, Kings players Jim Thompson, Scotty Bukestad, Daryl Sador, Rob Stauber, the goaltender. There's a save right on the doorstep by Rudy. Rebound and a score. Looked like on the left side might have been Borsato that got the puck and put it up over Rudy. Rudy made a couple of stops, but Luciano Borsato, the rookie, finally got to the loose puck, and the Jets are on the board, trailing 3-1.
Too many chances for the Jets. Rudy makes one save right here. The puck is bouncing around. It shoots loose to Borsato. Watch this, way up top. No problem once he had the rebound in his possession. Lawler comes in. He's the man that creates the extra outnumbered attack. 2 Kings back, Marty McSorley and Bob Kudelski, but that doesn't make up for the extra man. Borsato with all kinds of time here on the rebound. He makes no mistake. Great thinking, good goal scorer right there when you can go way up top when you have a chance.
There's the rookie, Luciano Borsato, 25 years old. He played 4 years at Clarkson College. He gets his 13th of the year from Mike Lawler and Teppo Numminen at 6:09. Now in 4 seconds, Kings will have a power play. Kings take it away. Here's Paul Coffey. Kings now on the power play for 19 seconds. Pass up to Gretzky, but he couldn't hang on. It's taken away by Housley. Here's Housley with it. His pass back across the line, but offside called against Winnipeg. Troy Murray was offside on the play. Jim Thompson, number 25 of the Kings, just came out of the penalty box. Kings on the power play for 10 more seconds. 13:28 to go here in the third period. The Kings looking for their 8th consecutive win here at home. The club record is 10, set back in 1990. Kings also looking for their 5th win of the season over the Winnipeg Jets. Let me correct that, the 4th win of the season over the Jets. Puck taken at center ice now by Paul Coffey. Here's Coffey with it. Moves it off on the right side. Jets are back at full strength. Here is Granato. Feeds it back to Huddy. Huddy tried to give it to Granato. He didn't get it. Winnipeg Jets with it, but they give it away to Wayne Gretzky. Lawler's pass intercepted by Gretzky. He gives it to Granato to Gretzky. Gretzky, his shot blocked. Granato on the rebound. Can't control it. It's taken by the Winnipeg Jets. Deblois gave it to Troy Murray. Here's Murray across the line. Polk checked away, and the puck taken by Granato. Now Coffey. Here's Coffey to center ice. He gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky's pass to Coffey. Down the middle. Coffey shoots, save, rebound, cleared by Lawler to the blue line. Gretzky held it in to Coffey. Coffey, his pass right side to Curry and hopped over his stick. Curry with it again. In the corner now to Robitaille. Here's Robitaille up the middle. Ahola. Ahola to Curry. Tipped it wide, and the goaltender Beauregard covers it up. 12:29 to go, third period. Kings ahead 3-1. Face off in the Winnipeg zone. All the tickets sold again tonight. 16,005. 37th sellout for the Kings this year with 3 home games remaining. 68 consecutive sellout if you include the playoffs last year. Here comes Olchek into the King zone. Olchek to Davidov, and he couldn't get a good shot. Yevgeny Davidov, the rookie from the Soviet Union, sent it wide to the right. Now the puck taken up at center ice by Davidov. The Commonwealth of Independent States. I'm still going to call it the Soviet Union. On the right side, Davidoff again. He shoots just wide to the left. Oh, he had a great chance there. Here's Housley. His shot knocked down in front. Loose puck comes off on the right side to Numminen. Tempo Numminen with it. The Jets now with a chance to get right back in the game. Here's Davidoff, left side. He gives it to Steen. Steen to Olczyk. Olczyk's pass around the boards on the right side. Numminen with it. He sends it into the corner. McSorley's pass knocked down by Olczyk. Olczyk's pass tipped away. He gets it back again, left side. Sends it down in deep to Steen. Steen checked by McSorley. Steen still with it, but his pass comes out to center ice. 11:20 to go, third period. Kings with a 3-1 lead. Kings got all 3 goals in the first period, and the Jets have scored here on a goal by Luciano Borsato from Lawler and Numminen at 6:09 of the third period. Now across the line of the Kings zone, Charlie Huddy. He's down in the corner. Kings dig it out and send it out to center ice, back to the Winnipeg zone. No icing here. 10:55 to go, third period. Kings Bob Kudelski sends it in deep. Borsato back to get it. His pass. Played by the Winnipeg Jets now. Keith Tkachuk to Lawler. Now up to Borsato. He clears it to center ice. Tkachuk with it, but a 2-line pass called against Winnipeg. And I thought for a while they might be able to get into that playoff picture, but they lost a game or two to Pittsburgh when it was really right down to the wire. And now the Islanders 8 points behind Pittsburgh in that battle. So it looks like the Islanders aren't going to make it, nor are the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers going to miss the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year. That breaks a lot of hearts in Los Angeles. Remember all those years that they beat up on the Kings? Puck is back behind the Winnipeg net and comes around on the right side, and now is cleared up to center ice. Hard check by Kudelski on Mike Hartman. Ulanoff, his pass off the boards, down in deep and taken by Charlie Huddy. Huddy wraps it around, but not out. Here's Housley at the right point. Down in the corner to Tkachuk. He's checked from behind by Huddy. Jets still keeping it play in the Kings zone. Out to the left point. Here's Lawler. His pass to Housley, and he couldn't jam it in. Now he did. The Jets get right back. Hartman was in front. The first shot was taken by Housley. Rudy made the save, and the Jets are right back in the game. They trail 3-2.
Have 2 fast skating teams, but the difference in the game has been the hitting. The Kings came out to start the game taking the body all the time. Now the Jets have picked it up, and they're creating scoring chances for themselves. Phil Housley gets one whack at it here, but that's not enough to put it past Kelly Rudy. Looked like Mike Hartman came in from behind and jammed it in. Could either be Hartman or number 6 Phil Housley. We get a look here from behind. 2 players whack at it at the same time. Hartman on the backhand, number 20, seems to get the goal. It's his 4th goal of the season, and the Jets right back in it. A lot of time left.
Now the Kings have got to crank it up a little bit. They lose it again in front of the net. A shot wide to the left side by Troy Murray. Hartman from Housley and Lawler at 10:07. The Jets haven't given up. Kings had them 3-0, and it looked like that might be enough, but the Jets are knocking on the door to tie it up. Right side, Shannon, his shot tipped wide. Picked up by Deblois. Deblois' pass up the middle, comes out to Granato. 2-on-1 with Gretzky. Here's Granato, right side. Gretzky down the middle. Gretzky with it, shoots, saved by Beauregard. Gretzky again to Ahola, and he scores! Second of the game for rookie Peter Ahola, his 7th of the year.
Winnipeg Jets take a chance. We'll see it on the upper deck overhead cam. The Jets throw in a defenseman. It's Numminen, 27. If he doesn't get it, they're in trouble. That's what happens. Gretzky, Granato on the 2-on-1. Gretzky takes the shot. Rebound. He doesn't stop. He knows exactly where to go with the puck. There's Ahola jumping in, another defenseman. And it just makes it over the goal line. That's a great play by Wayne Gretzky, though. Right here, a lot of players drop their head. They're upset they missed the shot. Now Gretzky, he puts it right on the stick of Ahola. Just makes it across the goal line.
39 seconds after the Jets had scored, the Kings come back, and we've got a penalty against the Kings. hooking the call, and Winnipeg is going to go on the power play, trailing 4-2. The goal by Peter Ahola is second of the game and 7th of the year from Wayne Gretzky and Tony Granato at 10:46.
Back and forth action here in the third period. The Jets come back with 2 straight to get within 1. Ahola scores, then Charlie Huddy takes a hooking penalty at 8:54 of the third period. The Jets back on the power play. They're 0 for 4, but they're getting a lot of shots on goal. They come from Phil Housley and Numanen.
Here's Numanen again. He shoots and he scores! It looked like it went off Rudy's glove into the net. Teppo Numanen fired from out near the blue line, and the Jets are right back in it. It's now the Kings 4, the Jets 3. That took only 5 seconds on the power play. The Kings didn't win the faceoff.
Jets always simple on this power play. They look for the shot, get a couple of deflections. I believe it went off a King, then a Winnipeg Jet skating through the slot. Kind of a changeup. We'll get a look from behind. There it hits the King stick. Then it goes off the sweater of Peter Ahola. Gets Ahola right in the numbers. It looks like Rudy had it taped all the way, but the puck just slowed down, and that created the goal for Teppo Numanen.
Numanen gets the goal. It comes on the power play, and the Jets trail by 1. Numanen from Steen. Steen won the faceoff. 11-11 the time of the goal. Kings with it. Kudelski tried to get it. He couldn't. Right point, it comes out to center ice, and McSorley drives it back in. Numanen gets his 5th from Steen at 11-11. And the Jets come back again. Here's Steen trying to come down the middle over to Hartman. He couldn't get a good shot. Kings take it away. On the left side, here's Kudelski. Clears it out to center ice, and the Kings are going to be called for icing here. Touched up by Winnipeg's Ulanov with 8:03 to go in the third period. Kings by 1.
Double deflection for Teppo Numanen on this goal. He takes a shot. It goes off Bob Kudelski. Then Peter Ahola right here. It hits his back. Rudy sees the puck all the way, but then it's that change-up effect after it hits Peter Ahola's jersey. That fooled Kelly Ruley. The Jets back within 1 goal. Kings lead 4-3.
That goal came only 25 seconds after Ahola had scored to put the Kings up 4-2. So Hartman scored to bring the Jets to within 3-2. 39 seconds later, Ahola scored. 25 seconds after that, Numanen scores. Puck is in the right wing corner. King zone. Here's the rookie Keith Tkachuk. Tkachuk with it. Shoots, and a save by Rudy. Shovels it off into the corner. Robitaille and Tkachuk go for it. Pinching in is Lawler. Lawler for Winnipeg. His pass along the boards broken up, and Robitaille just did clear it out to center ice. 7:39 to go, third period. Here's Mike Lawler. His pass to Hartman, broken up, and Robitaille, nice play. Clears it to Sandstrom. Here's Sandstrom with Millen. Sandstrom right side. Sandstrom shoots, wide. Rebound, Millen couldn't get to it. Oh, did Sandstrom make a nice move to come into the slot, but then his shot went wide. Jets drive it all the way back into the Kings zone. 7:19 to go, third period. Kings had a 3-0 lead and looked comfortable, but now things are heating up. Kings up by 1, 4-3. Here come the Jets again. Troy Murray, his pass right side to Deblois. Deblois in deep. Deblois behind the net, checked by Paul Coffey. Coffey with it. Coffey on the right side. His pass, though, going to be held in by Numanen. Numanen fanned on it. Kings get it out to center, 2-on-1. Right side. Here is Miller and Gretzky. Gretzky with it. Gretzky shoots over the net. Puck comes back on the right side. Taken there by Numanen. Now to center ice. Troy Murray. He pokes it ahead and back across the King line. Wayne Gretzky back to get it. He clears it up to center. Kings had a great chance moments ago on the 2-on-1. Gretzky and Millen. Gretzky shot one up over the net. 6:37 to go in the third period. Kings up by 1. Deblois right side. Deblois diving down. Drops it off for Housley on the right side. Housley spinning in the corner. Gives it behind the net. Taken away by McSorley. He clears it to center. Puck comes all the way back to Igor Ulanov, back in the Winnipeg zone. 6:20 to go, third period. Bob Miller with Jim Fox. Hope you're enjoying our prime ticket telecast tonight. Now the Jets with it. Here's Eddie Olczyk, leads them in goals. He shoots, he scores! Eddie Olczyk ties the game at 4-4. The leading goal scorer for the Winnipeg Jets, Eddie Olczyk, gets his 26th of the year to tie it up.
Winnipeg Jets with all the momentum. Olczyk takes it. He's going laterally across the King zone. He just gets a lot into this. Takes the drop pass from Thomas Steen. You can see all the Kings going one way. That allows Olczyk to go the other. Not a screenshot. He just beats Kelly Rudy cleanly.
Now Rudy pokes this one away, right side, taken by McSorley. Olczyk is 26 from Steen and Ulanoff at 13:49. Here come the Kings. Left side, they got Donnelly in front, and Lawler reached out to tip it away. Dave Taylor trying to give it to Donnelly, and it was tipped away. Give the Jets credit. They were being out-hit, out-skated, outplayed by the Kings, and they have come back with 4 goals in 7 minutes and 40 seconds to tie the game at 4-4. We're in the third period with 5:52 remaining. The Jets know that Edmonton lost tonight too, Jim, and this is a big game for them. They're trying to catch the Edmonton Oilers for second place in the Smythe division. If Winnipeg wins this game, they're going to be only 3 points behind. Now a score! It tipped in! Mike Donnelly on the right side of the net just got to it and tipped it inside the left goal post. And the Kings lead 5-4.
Tough to see if we have any goaltenders in the net here in the third period. So many goals being scored. Mike Donnelly, it seems like an impossible angle on the rebound. Donnelly, though, going strong to the net, picks up the rebound, gets one whack, and then right there, just at the end, has enough time to put it in. But if you don't go to the front of the net, you're not going to get these chances. Donnelly only has one hand on his stick. He's fending off a check from Phil Housley and puts it over the goal line.
His second of the game, 27th of the year. And the Kings lead 5-4. 6 goals scored in the third period. Kudelski and Huddy with the assist. Kudelski won the draw. Huddy got the shot from the point, and here's a penalty coming up against the Kings. 14-12, the time of the goal. 5:20 left to go in this third period. Kings lead by 1.
He goes out for charging. Kudelski coming from behind, not a bad call right there. Could have been cross-checking or charging, it doesn't matter. Kudelski takes an extra shot, and it is finally called cross-checking. So much back and forth action here. Winnipeg Jets back on the power play.
We've had 6 goals in the period, and don't forget Lucien Deblois hit the goal post earlier. Here's Olczyk. He shoots wide to the right side. Rebound out to Newman. Kings ahead 5-4. Jets on the power play trying to tie it up again. Davidoff chasing down, but Olczyk with it. Olczyk to Housley. His pass over to Davidoff, tipped away. Robinson to Gretzky. Gretzky to center. Corey Millen chasing it down. Millen in deep. Housley back for Winnipeg. Millen in the corner. He's checked by Housley. And the Jets come in to dig it out. 4:47 to go, third period. Jets right side, Steen across the line, checked by Ahola. Now it comes into McSorley. He wraps it around the boards and all the way down into the Winnipeg zone. The goaltender Beauregard had a tip off his stick right back up over the net and out in front. But the Kings' Tony Granato couldn't get to it in time. Now Davidoff, right side, King zone, on the power play for Winnipeg for another 55 seconds. Davidoff, his pass up the middle. Steen, his pass back to the blue line, deflected into the corner off Curry. Now a whistle as the puck is frozen in the right wing corner, and McSorley comes in to shove a couple of the Jets, and Peter Ahola steps in. 4:10 to go. In the third period, it's turned into a nail-biter, and the Kings seem to have everything well in hand early on with a 3-0 lead coming into the third period.
Close chance against the Jets right here. Tony Granato in on the forecheck. Granato and Beauregard both get a piece of this. It bounces over top of the Jets' net. Luckily for the Jets, no one on the Kings there as Beauregard was stuck behind the goal. He's had a lot of trouble tonight.
There's that overhead camera sponsored by Upper Deck. Nobody does hockey like Upper Deck. Face off to the left of Kelly Rudy. 4:10 to go. We're in the third period. The Kings lead it 5-4. 2 goals for Ahola, 2 goals for Donnelly tonight. Millen with the other goal for the Kings. The Jets scored 4 goals in 7 minutes and 40 seconds here in the third period. They're still on the power play. Here's Housley, left side to Newman. Newman to Housley. He shoots. Glove stopped by Rudy. Looked like it was going high, but Kelly reached up and made the glove save. Exactly 4 minutes to go in the third period. There's Housley's shot up high, and Kelly Rudy not taking any chances with that. He grabs the puck. We got Kings fans, Dave and Sandy here from Scottsdale, Arizona. I know a lot of you down in Phoenix area watching the Kings on Prime Ticket. Here's Housley, right side to Tkachuk. Tkachuk checked from behind by Robinson, and Tkachuk hangs onto it. Now to the blue line to Housley. Now to Newman, and he shoots wide. Rebound off the glass. Kings try to take it away, but Housley's going to hold it in at the right point. Housley in the slot. Shoots, save, Rudy in the rebound. Right there, and Borsato skated by it. Pass to center to Gretzky, out of his reach of the red line. 12 seconds left to go in the penalty to Bob Kudelski. 3:29 to go, third period. Here's Housley. Housley's pass to Borsato, broken up, and Ahola gets a stick in the face. Peter Ahola got a stick in the face from Borsato. And the Kings, of course, are saying, hey, you called one on Tim Waters, call one here on Borsato. But I don't know. Ahola got up in a hurry. Let's see what happened here. Well, there's the stick, comes up. Ahola grabs his face. He's not cut. He's going to go over and argue about it, but
he is cut on the chin. Oh yeah, he's cut a lot. And
oh yeah, now I see the blood down there. Yeah.
They're talking with a referee right there. I'm sure Don Koharski will ask for some help with his linesman. As you mentioned, Bob, Tim Waters of the Kings had a 5-minute major. Rick Wilson right there, the assistant coach, asking the referees, where did that happen? They want to figure out what happened to Peter Ahola. Did he cut himself? Did someone throw some red paint on him? No, this is what happened. He gets slashed. Again, it's difficult for teams to understand when a player gets hit when he has the puck. One of the 3 officials on the ice should see it. Now, if it's away from the play, a lot of times you can't see it. You're covered, you're blocked out by certain players, it's way behind the play. Peter Ahola had the puck there, and he got slashed, and nothing happens.
Larry Robinson over to argue with Don Koharski, but doesn't look like there's any penalty going to be called. They've made a change on an assist on Winnipeg's first goal. That by Luciano Borsato is 13th. Mahler and Eddie Olczyk now, not Teppo Newman, get the assist. Now the Kings and the fans upset at that man, Don Koharski. He calls no penalty out of that. Now the draw in the Kings zone. Kings have 3 seconds left to kill on the penalty. Now they're back at full strength. Kings up by 1. Here's Deblois, checked in the right wing corner. Deblois still with it. Gives it behind the net to Troy Murray. Murray checked there, spins around. Now it comes over to Phil Sykes. Sykes on the left side. He sends it around the boards over to Deblois. Kings are back at full strength. Deblois checked by Larry Robinson. Robinson digs it out, clears it the length of the ice. But the Kings are going to be called for icing here. Ulanoff back to touch it with 2:58 to go in the third period. It's 5-4 Kings. This game tonight has gone 3 goals for the Kings in the first period, no scoring by anybody in the second, and now here in the third period the Winnipeg Jets get 4 goals. We've had 6 scored overall in the third period. The Kings get 2. Ahola and Donnelly both with their second of the game. Now on the draw in the Kings zone. Puck comes around the boards. Robitaille checked hard by Newman, but the Kings force it out to center ice in front of the bench. Now Newman, oh, here's a penalty to Robitaille. He checked Newman from behind right in front of the King bench. Cross-checking against Robitaille. Luke got checked into the boards by Newman, and then he came back and cross-checked him in front of the King bench. Now look out, with 2:45 to go in regulation, Winnipeg's going to have a power play.
Luke Robitaille did a great job getting the puck out along the boards. He had to battle hard for it. Then he does reach out. No doubt it is a cross-check. There is Robitaille battling on the boards. That allows Corey Millen to get it out. That's hard work you need along the boards. And he gets called for the cross-check. So the Winnipeg Jets have scored a power play goal. It came from Newman. They'll get another chance here as Robitaille's in the box.
The Jets are 1 of 6 on the power play tonight. So they're 4 of 35 right now against the Kings this season. John Paddock, the Winnipeg coach, looks on. His team has made a valiant comeback here in the third period, but they're not all the way back yet. They tied it once at 4 for the Kings. Mike Donnelly got his second goal of the game to put the Kings up 5-4. Winnipeg on the power play. The Kings have to come up with a big penalty-killing effort here. On the right wing, here's Eddie Olczyk. Drives it into the Kings zone. Kelly Rudy cuts it off for Charlie Huddy. Huddy into the corner, pokes it away from Davidoff, but it's taken by Steen to Housley. Housley's pass in front, broken up. Kings with a 3-on-2. They got a man breaking to center, and Robinson's pass just out of the reach there of Corey Millen. Kings get Gretzky and Curry out to join Robinson and Huddy on the penalty-killing unit. 1:26 left to go on the power play. Here's Eddie Olczyk, right side, and just got bumped a bit by Robinson, who took him out of the play. If Robinson doesn't get a piece of him, Olczyk moves into the slot with a pretty good chance. Here's Housley with it back in the Winnipeg zone. 1:10 to go on the power play. Kings up 5-4. Puck comes around the boards, left side. Darren Shannon with it. Shannon checked by McSorley, puts it in deep, taken by Ahola. He gets checked by Steen. Now the puck in the corner to Gretzky. Gretzky, nice pass to Curry. Here's Curry to center. Curry hangs on to it, killing time on the penalty, and sends it deep in the Winnipeg zone. 1:30 left to go in regulation. 5-4 Kings. 45 seconds left to go in the Winnipeg power play. The Jets try to tie it up and send it to overtime. Here's Teppo Numminen. Numminen drives it into the Kings zone. Rebound back behind the net. Into the corner now to Troy Murray. Murray checked there, gives it over to Darren Shannon. Shannon for the Jets. Out to the blue line to Numminen. Numminen slides it to Housley. Housley, his pass tipped in front. Here is Tkachuk. His shot knocked down. Kings clear it. Gretzky cleared it back into the Winnipeg zone. 18 seconds left to go in the power play. 1 minute to go in the third period. 5-4 Kings. The Jets drive it back into the Kings zone. Mike Lawler's pass around to Tkachuk on the left side. He gets checked there. Puck is dug out by Huddy. Can't clear. Tkachuk, now it is cleared out to center. And the power play for the Jets is over. Kings are back at full strength. Beauregard trying to come out of the nets. Now he is. The Jets net is empty. 40 seconds left. Empty net for the Kings. Puck comes up to center ice. Taken by Steen. Steen to Borsato. He drives it into the Kings zone. 30 seconds to go, third period. Kings lead at 5-4. The Jets with the extra attacker. Puck is in the Kings zone. Here's Kudelski. Wraps it around the boards. Out to center ice. It's going to be way wide of the net. And an icing call coming up against the Kings. 17 and 7/10 seconds to go in the third period. Kings up 5-4. The Kings killed that penalty to Luc Robitaille, but now 17 and 7/10 seconds to go, and the faceoff is going to be back in the Kings zone. The Winnipeg Jets have called a timeout. So the Jets, John Paddock has told his team what he wants them to do with the extra attacker in the faceoff in the Kings zone. Faceoff will be to the right of Kelly Rudy. Corey Millen's going to take the draw against Thomas Steen. 17 and 7/10 seconds to go, third period. Don't forget the Kings home again on Thursday night. The Buffalo Sabres and Pat LaFontaine will be here. We'll have it for you at 7:30 on Prime Ticket. Saturday, the Calgary Flames will be here. An afternoon game starting at 1 o'clock this Saturday. That'll also be on Prime Ticket Live. Here's a big face-off. Thomas Steen of Winnipeg. Corey Millen of the Kings. Kings ahead 5-4. 17 seconds to go, third period. A battle for the face-off. The puck is loose. Eddie Olczyk with it, but the Kings clear it out to center ice and back into the Winnipeg zone. Chased down by Granato. Empty net for Winnipeg. Granato with it. Granato left side. Tried to give it to Gretzky. The net is dislodged, though. Eddie Olczyk threw a check at Corey Millen and knocked the net loose. 2 and 6/10 seconds to go in the third period. There's the empty net. There's Corey Millen on the right side. And he gets pushed by Eddie Olczyk into the side of the net. Face off in the Winnipeg zone. The goaltender Beauregard comes back in. The Kings are going to break a 3-game losing streak, and they're going to win their 8th in a row at home. As we said earlier, the club record is 10. But this was a battle. The Jets really came back. Kings win the draw, and the game is over. Mike Donnelly's second goal of the game and 27th of the year turns out to be